Going back to Dr. Paul Craig Roberts, you were finishing up with Iran and talking about trying to get our ships in there in their own waters, boarding all of their ships, saying they're not allowed to have fuel, they're not allowed to have any finished goods. I mean, this is a classic act of siege, of war, and the Iranians are saying they're going to resist. I remember Bush 5 years ago admitted in a White House press release that they had al-Qaeda-connected terror groups inside Shiite Iran staging terror attacks. Obama admits that's continuing. I mean, I'm not saying Iran is run by saints, but they haven't attacked us, and they have put up with a lot. I mean, our criminal government admits they're in there bombing the daylights with terrorists inside Iran, and Iran lays there and takes it. But I can't see Iran putting up with its ships being boarded. I mean, and how is our media going to spin that? How dare them Iranians? They wouldn't let our military board their ships. I mean, is there no end to the evil that this country won't engage in?
Apparently not. I mean, look, the Israelis just got away with boarding the aid flotilla to Gaza, killing all those people, and nothing has happened. Once again, we protected them diplomatically, so if we let them do it, we probably figure we can do it too. So I don't think, the real question is, why does the rest of the world go along with this? Now, my answer to the Europeans is they're all American puppet states. We've bought their leadership, and they're our puppets. But why Russia and China? For some reason, Russia has never delivered the sophisticated missile air defense that they contracted with Iran to supply. And they haven't delivered it because we keep telling them not to. So why does Russia allow us to interfere with their contract with Iran? And then look at China. China has massive energy investments in Iran, and China's economy is still going gangbusters. They need energy. And our plan for dealing with China is to cut them off from energy. So why would China go along with this? And it seems to me that those are questions that I don't know the answer to. But the rest of the world is somehow complicit in this. And it makes no sense because the world knows that Bill Clinton lied about the Serbian, Kosovo, Albanian dispute. We know that Bush lied about Iraq and weapons of mass destruction. We have the International Atomic Energy Agency reports from the inspectors on the ground that there's no diversion of enriched uranium from the nuclear energy program in Iran to a weapons program. We have all 16 American intelligence agencies last year issuing a unanimous report that Iran abandoned its nuclear weapons program in 2003. That was 7 years ago. Why doesn't somebody ask the president, how do you know they have a weapons program when your own intelligence agency says they don't? How do you know they have weapons when all the Atomic Energy Agency reports say they don't? How can they possibly have weapons when your own authorities say they're not capable of enriching uranium to that extent? No one asks these questions. Nobody in the media asks them.
And Iran has tried on, 3 separate occasions to give their uranium under UN supervision to the French, to the Turks, to the Brazilians, to enrich it where it's at a level that can't be used in weapons, and that only enrages the United States and Israel more. I mean, it's just a fact. We are the bad guys in this. We've overthrown Iran's government twice in the last century, and it's just outrageous that they're positioning us this. But from every expert I talked to, Ray McGovern, top CIA analyst, and many others, and just common sense in studying the region, there's close to 70 million Iranians. They haven't been under siege for a decade plus like Iraq. They have high-tech weapons. They do have sleeper cells, as any large nation does in other countries. And this is the perfect storm. They attack Iran. They won't have to stage terror attacks once the war's on. Iran will strike back. It'll be called terrorism. And the system is going to use this crisis as a pretext to crack down on domestic populations in the U.S., grab pension funds, and do all the other things they do when we're distracted by a war. And so this is good for the system to start a war. And a lot of people like to rally around the flag when we are blowing the hell out of some poor group of brown people. And so I see the system going ahead with it. And all the indicators we've got out of Israel and out of the U.S. government is they are moving towards a full green light on this. What's your take on the green light and when you think it's coming and what the aftermath of this war will be?
Well, Alex, I don't think anyone knows when it's coming. I don't even think the people planning it know that because they're looking for some sort of rationale, excuse, opportunity. And the outcome, I don't think, is known either. If I were the Iranians, I wouldn't sit there and wait for the attack. I mean, why respond after you've been badly hurt? Once I knew the attack was coming and nothing could be done about it, if I were the Iranians, I simply would take out the American aircraft carriers. I would let everything that I had fall on Israel, and I would start it. Because I wouldn't sit there and then respond with whatever I happen to have left after I've had a massive attack. You know, the other day, the head of the University of London's Center for International Affairs said that they're gearing up for the total destruction of Iran. You see, we've got troops in 10 countries surrounding Iran. We've stockpiled all these bunker buster bombs. Apparently, we've even moved tactical nuclear weapons.
Diego Garcia.
Yes. And so I don't think that they would be doing all of this just in order to scare Iran or pressure them.
No, this is a full court press, just like before the invasion of Iraq both times. And you're right. They've said that if Iran fights back in any way under Bush, and Obama's continued this doctrine, that they will use nuclear weapons on them. So if Iran lifts a hand to protect themselves, the media is going to scream like it's the end of the world. And I guess Americans are going to sit there while their cities are being nuked, feeling powerful and running American flags out on flagpoles. Meanwhile, the same global corporate crime syndicate is destroying America's future. So I guess in a way, if Americans go along with this war, I'm going to have to say we're cursed and we deserve for the bankers to rape us. But I don't deserve to be raped by them. So what do you do as an individual living in Nazi Germany?
Yes, you be quiet. Listen, Alex, you know, I think that if they do strike Iran in some horrendous way, one possibility would be that all of the colonized puppet state Muslims would feel so absolutely wronged and powerless that they could possibly overthrow the American puppets. You might see revolution in Egypt, in Jordan. You might see it even in Saudi Arabia. It's entirely possible that we would simply be going too far and undermine all the puppet regimes that we have already established there. So there are many potential downsides to this that don't appear to figure in the calculations of the Americans or the Israelis. And of course, if it disrupts oil in any significant way, that would be really detrimental.
Doctor, doesn't Israel losing in Lebanon 3.5 years ago and having other setbacks, I mean, doesn't that give them some pause before they just head us into World War III?
No, you see, if they get rid of Iran, then there's no one to support Hezbollah and Hamas. And so that's the other reason we didn't get to for the attack on Iran. It gets rid of all the support for the forces that block Israel from stealing all of Palestine and southern Lebanon. See, Israel is chomping at the bit to simply evict the few remaining Palestinians and to seize southern Lebanon.
Yeah, they want past the goal line and that water supply.
They want the water supply from southern Lebanon. So that's their stake in this war. They want Iran out of it because then once Hezbollah uses up whatever weapons it has, it wouldn't have any more. And there would be no way to stop them from simply...
How does Iran get the weapons in? Through Syria?
I don't know.
Why doesn't Iran just make a deal with Israel and have a peace treaty? I mean, because Iran is looking down the barrel of a nuclear bomb.
I don't know that either. As I've said, there's so many imponderables, and they're not discussed. I mean, why does Russia stand aside?
Well, you said earlier Russia has now been betrayed. We know they've been trying to make deals with Barry Soetoro, known as Barack Obama, and that he's broken those. And then separately, we see the fear-mongering about these 11 Russian spies. You notice the Russian spies, and now Russia admits their spies, just want to do a swap, weren't infiltrating the government, because that's ceremonial. They were infiltrating Harvard and Wall Street, because that's who runs this country.